Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
All right, a little bonus Purple Daily here today. Our guy Darren Doogie Wolfson from the 5 Eyewitness News Sports Department here with some information, some speculation, some
Scooby,
some woofication in the background.
He's ready for next week. Somebody ringing the doorbell. Looks like there's
Does he
a
have to
bike
go
outside.
Poo? Oh, okay.
Don't answer.
Absolutely. Who knows who it is?
Who's ringing doorbells?
Don't answer it.
I don't
stop. Know. Let's stop ringing doorbells, America. Let's just
I'm
stop right
Although Mrs. W is anti one of those no solicitation signs. Now, nobody else in the neighborhood has one, so I don't know where to go on that. But yeah, it's like, who exactly? Now, it looks like it's a young man. Must be one of the kids' friends. Don't they realize the kids are probably still sleeping here at 10 a.m. as we record this on Tuesday morning?
Sounds great.
Aren't there like other ways to get? I get, you know, the doorbell is to like get everyone's attention, but in 2025, there's got to be 10 other ways you could hit someone up before ringing a doorbell, right?
I agree. Yeah, text message, hey, come on outside.
Yeah,
whatever it is, Snapchat, Instagram, direct message. Yeah, there are a
carrier
million
pigeon
ways.
Preferable. Never bring your body to my door.
Oh, it was somebody selling something. Keaton, somebody was trying to sell you something? They're talking Girl Scout cookies?
Oh.
Oh, some sort of vacation?
Yeah,
I don't even want to know what this.
We're all going to get
selling.
rich, you know.
My God.
That's
maybe she should be selling tickets to Vikings training camp and or parking passes. Yeah, those are in demand. Fans there for the first time 1 week from Saturday.
Yeah. So let's start with some training camp fodder here, Doogs. We're a week away from we're a week away from the closed to the public but open to the media sessions. Tuesday being the press conferences, and then Wednesday, and then fans a week from Saturday. So what are the biggest things on your mind heading into a pretty big training camp for the Vikings here, trying to build off what they did last year?
Well, I mean, I think I would be pretty foolish, Phil, not to mention J.J. McCarthy. All eyes on J.J. McCarthy. Now, really, 13 days from now, Monday, July 28th, when the pads come on for the first time, checking in, J.J. has been enjoying some pre-baby trips, some family time. Like things are about to ramp up on his personal front very soon. So he's been enjoying some R&R before next week. Yeah, first practice 1 week from tomorrow. Josh Metellus, the contract extension isn't done yet. Full disclosure, I have done a pre-training camp story with Josh for TV the last 2 or 3 July, certainly the last 2. He is in town. He is working out with a friend of mine, but for whatever reason, the story is not coming to fruition this time around. I make a lot of story pitches. Not every story pitch is accepted. In this case, it's not going to happen unless I get a text message today. I mean, heck, my window to shoot a story is just the next few days, and it's been crickets. Now, my sense is, I don't have this directly from Josh, but my sense is, okay, he knows my job is to pry, is to ask all sorts of questions about, well, look, Josh Oliver extension done. Andrew Van Ginkel extension done, right? Like go up and down the list of contracts that have been done. Where exactly is your money?
Do they not like you, Josh?
So I don't think he wants to do anything right now. Yeah, he's going to get those questions next week, but at least before training camp, I don't think he's interested in answering those questions. Plus, I would have to rehash his decision to sit out, many of the drills, mini camp, which I fully get. There's no reason to put your body on the line in mid-June when you're established like Metellus, but certainly curious to see if that extension can get across the finish line. I can tell you there certainly has been enough dialogue. Rob Brzezinski, the Vikings front office, with Josh's representation, Drew Rosenhaus. Then you touched on it. Yeah. Well, and the one other headline to me, Judd, before you chime in, is the Jordan Addison trial that is set to begin today. Will we have closure before the end of today? This is a jury trial stemming from his arrest about a year ago. Like, it was mid-July 2024. I think the date was July 12th. So nearly 1 year ago today, suspicion of drunken driving. He was asleep behind the wheel of a Rolls Royce in Los Angeles. And so what does that jury decide? Does Jordan Addison get convicted? And then if convicted, does he get suspended for 3 games? Those are the things that are on my mind more so than anything else right now.
So let's go to the Metellus thing, because I think that the issue here is very clear, and this is reckless speculation on my part, but some informed reckless speculation based on years of experience. And it's this: I think the Metellus problem, like you guys are right. Certain guys have extensions. They're locked up. They got locked up fairly quickly, I would guess. So why isn't Metellus locked up? And here's why. I think the problem is, well, it's not the problem. I think the sticking point is where he plays. I think he's the equivalent of a defense on defense of a tight end on offense who catches a bunch of passes and says, "I'm really a wide receiver." And the salary cap folks say, "No, you're not. You're a tight end. You got to play nice because you get paid less." If you look at what Metellus brings, and it would be, his representation would not be doing their job if they didn't say, "Hey, we got to sort of redefine how you pay him. You can't pay him as just a safety." Yeah. He has technically played every position, and quite frankly, he plays nickel corner a ton, and if that's the case, he's more of a cornerback. Okay, we got a problem now, because now you're saying cornerback, I'm saying, hold on, it's a safety, and there is I believe, a wide discrepancy in the potential pay there. So I totally get why this is an issue, and I actually get from both sides why this could be a sticking point of how do we pay you when Metellus has played so many different and valuable roles.
Agreed, completely. I mean, super complicated contract to get done. If you're Rosenhaus, if you're Metellus, you make sure the Vikings remember team captain, very much team leader. Think about Sunday mornings right before they take the field. Who's firing up the defense in the tunnel? Josh Metellus. His versatility on special teams. Now you wonder moving forward if his special teams snaps, go down a bit, but still the impact on special teams. But yeah, like, are you paying him? Put it this way: are you paying him the Cam Bynum Indianapolis Colts contract? About what, $14-ish million a year? Mm-hmm. Or is that too much? Like, I don't know. It is. It's super complicated. Is there mutual interest? Yes, very much so. Josh wants to finish his career here. Josh thinks the world of living here in town, the Vikings organization. He wants to put pen to paper. He wants to sign an extension. But if you're Kwesi and company, what exactly is that number? I've thought long and hard about this. We've talked about this going back many weeks. I don't have a firm conclusion on what exactly the number is. I can't get there. It's hard.
There's definitely ways to fix the thing that I'm about to bring up here, but they're also trying to weigh, they've with the extensions to Justin Jefferson and Christian Darrisaw and other expensive players and the free agents they brought in, that they spread money, both last year's class, Grenard, and then the Van Ginkel extension, into this year's class with Hargrave and Jonathan Allen. Like, Byron Murphy got a bunch of money. They've paid a bunch of guys short and long term to the point where going into 2026, no team is further over the cap than the Minnesota Vikings. Now they have until, the second week in March to get cap compliant. But at this point, without even accounting for more money for Josh Metellus, they are $60.8 million according to Over the Cap over next year's salary cap. And so, let's say you put a $10 million cap hit on Metellus, that puts you up to $70 million. And there's ways to get under it. But they're trying to weigh all this. They've taken this rookie scale contract quarterback concept to the absolute max with the roster that they've built and the internal guys that they have retained, Doogie. So there's going to be some hard decisions with how strapped they are. And I think they're going to get it done, but it wouldn't shock me either if they just if they just went into the year and they tried to get some compensation for him, like a comp pick after he walks in free agency. I could see that.
I think they get it done too, though, Phil. Of those two scenarios, I think it's more the former. But it's not like it's just Metellus. Like, you think Jalen Naylor wouldn't love a contract extension?
Yeah.
He's entering a contract year. You literally can't keep everyone, right? Like Patrick Jones. Good for Patrick Jones. Had a good year last year. Positioned himself. It's a pretty good contract for Patrick Jones with the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, I think it gets done, but I'm just saying, yeah, like, you're not keeping all these guys. I mean, if I had to bet right now, absolutely. Jalen Naylor is going to sign somewhere else in March, which the Vikings will be fine with. Hopefully he positions himself like Patrick Jones did last year. Jalen Naylor has a good year, then cashes out in March. I just know how much Josh wants to be here, though.
Yeah.
And all the intangibles. Like, I think it gets done. I do. But I'm also surprised if you had told me 4 months ago, hey, we'll chat on July 15th. Is the deal done or not done? I probably would have told you by July 15th the deal would be done.
The intriguing thing here, though, is so I'm with you, Dukes. I think Metellus loves it here. I think the Vikings love him. I think everybody knows what he brings, which is, football savvy. I mean, football IQ to an extreme. But the thing here is, how far does Metellus allow Rosenhaus to take this? Because Drew doesn't back down. So until Josh tells him, hey, that's fine, let's just take this, right? Like, that's the thing. He has a guy that I think would be considered, a super agent as far as how they're considered. So that to me becomes the key thing. How much of Drew Rosenhaus's advice does Josh take? Because I think if Josh had somebody else, there's a good chance that they would just say, okay, let's do this, right? But Drew also, because he has a plethora of clients, is going to want to set a market for a position that's probably going to start to exist more and more and more. And again, the Vikings are probably like, he's a safety. And Rosenhaus is like, no, he'd probably be a cornerback. And so, like, Josh in some ways is going to be a guinea pig, I think, for the positionless football that we're seeing more and more of on defense.
Absolutely. Now, yeah, I get it. Listed as a safety, but he's definitely not just a safety. You laid that out. We all know that. He's not just a safety. I'd like to think, though, that Rosenhaus got the Darisaw extension done, got the Van Ginkel extension done, got the Grenard deal done a year ago, got the Aaron Jones deal done on the eve or 48 hours before the start of free agency, plus the Jones deal a year ago. Like, Rosenhaus and the Vikings have done so many deals in the last 15, 16 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there has to be a happy medium. I don't know what that happy medium is. Is it $14 million a year? Or is that too much? But if Cam Bynum can get that, and I get it, completely different players.
Right.
But I'm just thinking, if you're Metellus, you see Cam Bynum, you're happy for your friend, but, like, you're not taking considerably less than that Cam Bynum contract. So what exactly is that sweet spot? I don't know.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question that I posed to these two guys on the first episode of Purple Daily today. So Warren Sharp from Sharp Football Analysis, analytics guy. If you don't follow him, if you're a football nerd, like, he's a great follow. And he had the Vikings that he ranked the front seven defensive, like the defensive front. So the front seven, he ranked all of them for each team in the NFL. And last year he had the Vikings around this time, 24th or 25th. He ranked the Vikings as the number one defensive front seven in the entire league, citing Hargrave, Jonathan Allen, and then obviously you had one of the top pressure defenses in the league schematically, Grenard, Van Ginkel, those guys, Dallas Turner getting a year better. If the Vikings, here's the hypothetical, if the Vikings, however you quantify it, finish the season where, like the Eagles last year, where you're like, that's the best defensive front in the NFL right there. If people are saying that about the Vikings after the regular season, that, boy, that is the best defensive front in the NFL, how far do they go? How does their season end?
I mean, they're winning a playoff game. I mean, that would be progress under Kevin O'Connell. Absolutely winning a playoff game. The question is it multiple playoff games? Is it the NFC Championship game? Is it winning the NFC Championship game? Is it getting to February, being able to hoist the Lombardi Trophy? Like, if it's that good, Phil, now, hey, I get it. Like, what does the offensive line look like? We still have question marks about the defensive backfield. So as good as that defensive front is, some quarterbacks are going to still be able to get the ball out in time. And do the Vikings have the guys to cover those receiving targets? So I get it. There's all sorts of questions. Heck, McCarthy, what does JJ look like, right? The number one question. But yeah, I think if the defense is that good, Eagles-esque, if we think about that on January 1st, yeah, I think minimum it's at least one playoff victory.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if I can go much further.
It took them a while.
Because there's enough other questions, right? There's enough other questions, but I'm thinking, yeah, finally they win a playoff game under KOC.
And then it depends. Yeah, I think it's like guarantees that you're going to win a playoff game, and then it's okay. How good is JJ McCarthy? How good? How healthy? All those other factors that would come into play. Yeah, that's fair. Some more Vikings fodder here coming up with our guy Darren Doogie Wolfson. 2 men in a truck helped the Goff family, not Jared Goff, but Declan Goff. Maybe you guys are distant cousins, but they recently helped you with a move.
Whether it's Declan, Kelsey, Jared, Kristen, all the Goffs in one house. I don't know. It could be maybe when Jared Goff eventually signs with the Vikings. I know my wife will be very excited because she can get a jersey that says Goff on the back of it. But 2 men in a truck can make that move happen, okay? They can make all that move a lot easier for you. What they quote is what you pay. There's no hidden fees or service charges. They took care of my move. They took care of all of my belongings. Hire 2 men in a truck. Tell them that Purple Daily sent you. You don't have to worry about figuring out who has a truck or who can help me move, what family members are available. Let the experts handle it. Go to 2meninatruck.com to get your quote today.
Also, North American Banking Company, if you're, I don't know, maybe you're looking to get your finances in order after a big contract extension that secures you and your family for the rest of your life, or it's something smaller like just a new checking account experience or savings account. North American Banking Company has been Minnesota-based since 1998. They've got 6 locations across the Twin Cities metro area. And I think you'll find out, I started to get to know them almost a year ago, like kind of around August or September of last year. And they're just really friendly, knowledgeable people. Actual human connection with the company that, manages your finances and oversees your banking experience. If you want a better banking experience, go to nabankcode.com/Mackey to learn more. That's nabankcode.com/Mackey, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Do you know who, somebody we know well, who could use those 2 sponsors, the help of those 2 sponsors? Happy for our guy Ryan Saunders on his way to the Memphis Grizzlies, #1 assistant.
Saw that.
Was texting with Ryan just a few hours ago. So who knows? If Ryan is consuming Purple Daily today,
Sure he is.
maybe he'll ring up one of those 2 sponsors or both.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I think he's a big 2 men in a truck guy. He can afford it with that NBA coaching salary. For both you guys, for Judd and for the Sports Dad or for Doogs, Judd's Camp Notes, and Sports Dad, all 3 of you guys. How much have you spent time around Ryan Kelly, the new starting center here? That's one of the more fascinating dynamics here, that they cut ties with Bradbury. They bring in this basically decade-long veteran who's been excellent in pass protection when he's been healthy. And you've got this first-year starting quarterback, a 10-year age difference or whatever it is, a different personality. How much do we know about Ryan Kelly at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I had a nice conversation with him, shameless plug, on my social media, specifically X @DWolfsonKSTP. Some of the conversation at least still exists. I mean, I'm not one of those blue checkmark guys, so I'm limited to 2 minutes and 20 seconds on my video. So I spoke with him a bit longer than the 2:20, but posted about 2 minutes of a conversation I had with Ryan back in mid-June. Super articulate. Like, you can see why the man is a center. You speak of Josh Metellus' football IQ on the defensive side. That's Ryan Kelly on the offensive line. Not that Garrett Bradbury doesn't have that either, but Ryan Kelly, super, super impressive. He admitted to me, like, this offense, like, by day 2 or day 3 of minicamp, okay, he was starting to, really grasp things, but it took a while. Like, month of May was a grind. Early June was a grind for Kelly. But physically, you think about the injury he suffered last year, he's feeling really good. To me, that's an upgrade, like, clear upgrade. happy for Garrett. Hope it works out really well with the Patriots. Didn't necessarily foresee this coming. Like if you had asked me in early February, wasn't sure that the Vikings would actually go this direction. But now that we've seen it, it's a clear upgrade. I really, really like the Ryan Kelly edition.
I'll say this too. He is what you want mentality wise in a center. Like he's very smart, but he's also a football guy, and you can tell he loves football, and you can tell he loves to maul defensive tackles at the line of scrimmage. Now, as far as the learning curve goes, and O'Connell told this story near the end of minicamp, if I am correct on that. But here is where it's dicey. Okay, when you are trying to learn this offense, which is pretty complex, take some time. But as O'Connell said in one of the last practices, Brian Flores showed a package, and Ryan Kelly looked back at O'Connell and said, "What's this?" Because he didn't recognize it. And O'Connell said, "Your guess is as good as mine." So not only are you trying to learn the installation of an offense that is a Kevin O'Connell complex offense, but Brian Flores doesn't give a damn. And this is where it gets into the push and pull. And I mean, I do think that there were some intense conversations internally at times. And this will carry on, obviously, into training camp practices, where Brian Flores just shows looks that O'Connell has no idea. And so, like, now you're McCarthy or Kelly, and you're, like, trying to process what you're supposed to be doing that O'Connell wants. And now you're like, but I don't know what I'm looking at here. And this is where you do improve. But it's such an interesting thing because I don't know if there's a bunch of the 32 teams that has a DC who throws looks in training camp at his own team, and his own offense is like, oh, we got no clue what's coming. So it was funny, but I'm sure it's frustrating at times as well.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm sure at some point in August, I'll talk to Ryan. He'll tell me how frustrating it can be. But like you think about an Alabama guy, just... yeah, everything you said. Mauling interior defensive linemen. A guy loving football. That's absolutely Ryan Kelly. Certainly an adjustment as well. I mean, he admitted to me, hey, like he's used to playing next to Will Fries, who my understanding is coming back from that, right tibia injury.
Yep.
That he'll be cleared at some point during training camp, maybe even here at the start. But we didn't see him on the field, for example, during the June minicamp. So adjusting playing next to Blake Brandel. Then the adjustment playing next to Donovan Jackson. So there's a lot going on for Ryan Kelly, not to mention, getting used to J.J. McCarthy. And so I get it when he was saying, hey, there's a lot on my plate. There's an adjustment period here. But you think about starting next Wednesday, that you have the better part of 6 weeks until Monday, September 8th in Chicago. Ryan's done this long enough. I have full confidence that he'll grasp everything he needs to grasp heading into that Monday Night Football opener.
You know what I get irrationally excited for? I saw a video from TJ Hawkinson's social media yesterday of off campus. I think it was in a different state. I'm not even sure where it was, but it's JJ McCarthy on some high school field working out with his tight ends. Hawkinson, Josh Oliver, just sharpening their relationship, the route running. You know that TJ Hawkinson is going to be in line for a nice little safety blanket season. But it's good to see. It does feel like JJ McCarthy is very much all in here going in. I know he's got a lot on his plate family wise with his first child on the way in September. But I don't know. I get irrationally excited for they're spending time together outside of the constructs of team practice, and they're organizing their own thing, Doogs.
Well, and that goes back to JJ and his wife, using these 3, 4, 5 weeks between minicamp and the start of training camp to travel. But certainly there's some business to tend to as well. It's not just 100% R and R. And you think about TJ Hawkinson, a normal off season. Like he loves participating in tight end U with Travis Kelce, with George Kittle, there where he lives in the Nashville area. Able to do that this summer. Not able to do that last summer. I agree. I would put TJ Hawkinson on a really, really good year. I would. Josh Oliver, maybe. I don't remember how many catches he had last year, but maybe we up that by a little bit. Clearly, there's a satisfaction from the Vikings when you reward him the way you did. And we get it. The blocking trumps all. But, Josh has told me this a couple times, others with the Vikings. Hey, we think there's maybe a little bit more there in terms of the passing game. Then curious to see, I guess of training camp battles, Phil, is tight end 3, Johnny Munt gone?
Yeah.
Is tight end 3 a battle to keep an eye on? Or is that Bartholomew? Is that the draft pick that he's darn near a foregone conclusion to be that tight end number 3? But I think that's one battle to watch, whether it's the undrafted free agent from Georgia, some other guys they've brought in. Tight end 3 is one of a few camp battles you can keep an eye on.
Yeah, and if you recall, Doogs, I believe Bartholomew was banged up and only took part in some of the
nothing
off-season
major
program,
yes,
right?
correct.
But so he didn't take part. You know what I think? I think tight end 3 is an internal battle that could end up on the waiver wire, as far as a claim when cuts are made from elsewhere too. Like O'Connell, we joked about it, but O'Connell's infatuation with Munt was real.
Oh, don't joke about that. Yeah, no,
right, but I'm saying tight end 3 is a
that.
real thing here. It's not like, hopefully if Bartholomew balls out and plays well, I think he's the guy. But if he doesn't and a guy behind him does not step up, I could easily see tight end 3 being a waiver wire claim after final cuts as well, which gets into the next thing too, though. Same thing, cornerback. So Isaiah Rodgers, I think, is set to start. Byron Murphy Jr., no question, is set to start. But cornerback 3 is going to be really intriguing because my sense is that if the OTAs and offseason camps are an indication, Jeff Okudah is going to get the first shot. But, he's going to get the shot. I don't know he's going to get the job. Mekhi Blackman then is going to challenge him. I think cornerback 3 is going to be one of the most interesting and important battles, and again, could be a waiver wire situation if they don't like what they see, and or would not shock me if that's a trade.
Well, sure. Let's see what takes place in August. They weren't in on Jalen Ramsey. They kicked the tires on Jair Alexander, but once he hit the market, it was a couple days later. It was a brief kicking of the tires, nothing that ever seriously ramped up. Rasul Douglas is a capable free agent corner that's available right now. Crickets. Douglas would love to be here, but not like the Vikings are reciprocating that. And so let's see. Now, hey, Dwight McLaughlin Jr. is intriguing to me. Zamaya Vaughn, undrafted free agent. Not that he's going to be cornerback 3 on September 8th, but he intrigues me. But sure, I think the top 2 are locked in. The way Flores gushes about Rodgers, I think Rodgers is locked in as the number 2. So who is that number 3? But at least for the first few weeks of camp, they are going to let these guys battle it out. I'll give you another one. What about running back 3? Are we sure it's Ty Chandler?
Mm-mm.
Or is that a potential waiver wire pickup and or trade in late August? I would keep an eye on running back 3 as well.
I love that one. Exactly right. Yeah, Chandler, I guess the question is how much do they want Chandler on kickoff returns as well? But yeah, I would say that that's far from a certainty.
Yeah, he can return kicks, but so can Silas Bolden, undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
They have some options. Ty Felton can return kicks. I don't know. Is Ty Chandler kick returner 1? I guess I have a hard time believing that.
No, he's kick returner 2, but as Matt Daniels explained during the mini camp, I guess the analysis of injuries show that kick returner 2 gets hurt a lot, like it's the worst job, and so it's a kamikaze job. And so I wonder if that's the job, like if they feel that Chandler is adept at that, although I have no idea. So yeah, I would not be surprised, given how Chandler has been handled in the past, if he is part of the final cuts. It would not surprise me one bit.
It would not surprise me one bit whatsoever. Rondell Moore, what's his health? How does he fit into that equation? But he could also be very much on the roster bubble in late August. Now, the idea is, right, 35-yard line compared to the 30. Is the idea that, in theory, we're supposed to see more kickoff returns? So
Yes.
In theory, there's more value placed on having someone fully capable of returning kicks. I guess I need to truly see it to believe it, but I guess it makes logical sense. But yeah, I don't see Ty Chandler winning any sort of role in that regard. Like if he wins a job, it's because he's the clear-cut RB3, nothing else, to me at least.
So at the end of camp in June, when Daniels talked, we both agreed very heart to heart that Isaiah Rodgers is really good on kick returns. The only question is, will he be allowed to use him based on the snaps he gets at cornerback? But
correct. I mean, do
they
you
really
put
like
your
him there.
cornerback 2
right
in that sort of situation, injury risk? But
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, watching him explode, catching the ball,
Yeah.
then those first couple steps and knowing what the speed is, but just that initial burst, yes, give me Isaiah Rodgers returning kicks. I just don't know if the injury risk is fully worth it. But on the surface, I love the idea of Rodgers returning kicks.
By the way, according to Vikings Reddit, it looks like that field that McCarthy and the tight ends were working out at was George Kittle's house compound area in the Nashville area, where Kittle, both Kittle and Hawk obviously went to Iowa, and people are deducting it was at Kittle's house outside of Nashville.
Okay.
there
Okay,
you
well,
go.
and Hawkinson lives down there too.
Yep.
So, and it would make sense, though, JJ and his wife getting in a pre-baby trip or two. Hey, Nashville in the summer, sign me up. So,
Yeah.
to me, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Or it may have been piggybacking off of tight end U. So, Kittle, Greg Olson, and you've got Travis Kelce. They gather all these tight ends in
Taylor
July.
Swift was down there.
Yeah, she was singing in a
Taylor
bar.
Swift was down there. Yeah, I saw she was
That's
at
really
the
cool.
the kickoff gala on stage singing. So, yeah, I mean, the Vikings had tight ends at tight end U, so it would make sense they were already there in the Nashville area. McCarthy joins them. So, yeah, I mean, just nice to hear that JJ's been getting in some extra reps. Plus, hey, I mean, there's a bunch of guys. There's an East Metro High School. I know a bunch of guys will be on the field later this week. Heck, I was in the gym on Monday with Evan Hall, Pittsburgh Steelers running back, with Trayton Welch, tight end for the Saints, and Xavier Scott, Vikings running back. So he was in the gym over at Game Face in St. Louis Park on Monday morning. So, yeah, I mean,
Thanks for the call.
guys,
So that's Judd's backyard. That's where Judd
guys are
goes.
ramping
Thanks
up.
for the
I know.
call. I could
It
have
was
been
sort of a last
in the
second
gym
deal.
too. You and me
Yeah.
pumping
know.
irons and work on the bike.
Oh, no.
Evan, what's up, man? Good to see you. Just grinding.
Me-
You and I
Meeting
would have been in
Diego.
the physical therapy area, getting a lot of treatment. That's where you and I would have been. But
I
yeah,
would
I
have been
mean,
in the bar.
there's no such thing as an off season. These guys may take a few days off around the 4th of July, but these guys are going pretty nonstop right now heading into next week.
I barely know you anymore.
Wow. Just doesn't get invited anywhere.
Nope.
Darren Doogie Wolfson from the 5 Eyewitness News TV Sports Department. Good stuff, Doogs. And we'll be seeing Judd's camp notes will be out there every day. We'll see you at training camp on a regular basis. So plenty more to come in the next few weeks.
Can't wait. Yeah, Tuesday, week from today, we have Quasey and Kevin, right? And yeah, first practice a week from tomorrow, first practice with fans a week from Saturday, and 1 week from next Monday. I'm telling you, that's when it really, 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 really ramps up. Is when
Pads.
those full pads come on Monday, July 28th.
Oh, the cracking of pads.
Thud.
Let's
You get
go.
some thudding.
All right,
do
he's
it.
Doogs.
All right,
You can
boys.
catch him on Flagrant Howls later this week. For Judd, Dex, I'm Phil. This is Purple Daily. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.